at Naga national political groups, NSCNIM alleges that working committee of the political group aims to create havoc among Nagas, engineered by India using the Nagas to usurp the framework agreement. NSCNIM also calls the agreed position nothing more than the 16-point agreement of 1960 outrightly rejected by the Nagas. Naga People's Front President Shirozile Leijuchu claims NPF is the only political party acting as a guardian body for the Naga people. Leijuchu assures that until the Naga political problem is solved, the party will hold on to the same aims and objectives. Amidst the ensuing assembly election in Nagaland, Minister of Planning and Coordination Neba Kruno predicts victory for NTPP and NPF coalition in the upcoming polls. Kruno also reiterates that government is taking Naga political issues seriously and has urged Naga negotiators to bring early solution to the issues. Nltv once again exposes dirty deeds of Dimapurians as visual shows evidence of commercial hub of Nagaland transforming into garbage hub. Areas adjoining Dimapur airport including runway turns into dumping zone as locals resort to throwing wastages bringing threat in the environment. In a bid to resolve interstate border issue, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh signs the Namsai Declaration after chief ministers of both the states conduct a crucial meeting. 12 regional committees to visit disputed sites, resolve the border issues and to submit report on 15th September. Hello viewers, you are watching English Primetime News. I'm Asan. Let's look into details now. To bring out the Naga political settlement at the earliest possible time, the NSCNIM has alleged that the main objective of the working committee, Naga national political groups, is to create havoc among the Nagas, and it has been set up by India using the Nagas to take over the framework agreement signed on August 3, 2015. The faction alleged that the agreed position of the WC and NPG is nothing more than 16-point agreement of 1960, which was rejected by the Nagas. It questioned why some Nagas leaders from Arunachal Pradesh were stopped from reaching Hebron on June 29 and July 9 as they wanted to know the status of the Indo-Naga political talks. It again stated that many Naga civil society organizations from Tirap, Changlang and Longting of Arunachal Pradesh were able to attend the meeting to have fruitful interactions at Hebron camp. It continued by saying that the Naga CSOs of Tirap, Changlang and Longting appealed to both the government of India and the NSCN leaders to bring out the Naga political settlement based on framework agreement at the earliest possible time. An induction program of new office bearers of NPF 8 Western Angami was held on Friday. Speaking at the program, NPF President Dr. Shirozile Leijuchu asserted that with its uniqueness and history for the Naga people, NPF cannot be compared with any other political parties. Shirozile also stated that NPF was given birth in the Naga soil during which heavy bloodshed was going on in Nagaland, and that the party is the only political party that is acting as a guardian body for the Naga people. President assured that until the Naga problem is solved, the party will hold on to the same aims and objectives. Shirozile furthermore added that NPF does not envision for power and money, but rather to bring peace and justice and raise the voice of the Naga people, and claimed that NPF is not a mere political party, but a party with purpose for the Naga people. Speaking about other political parties in the state, Dr. Shirozile stated that new political parties in Nagaland faded away because it does not have any roots, but assured that NPF is deeply rooted with the Naga society. NPF president also stated that the party sacrificed the identity of the Naga people and will always stand to safeguard the regional interests of the Naga people and to carry forward the aspiration of the Naga people for the early resolution of the vexed Naga political problem. Dr. Shurazale furthermore urged the newly elected office bearers to work for the Naga people with their best of abilities and maintained optimistic that the new team will carry forward the aspiration of the people. Amid the ensuing assembly elections in Nagaland, State Minister of Planning and Coordination, Neba Kruno, has predicted the win of NDPP and NPF coalition in the upcoming election. While addressing a meeting of office bearers of Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party Futsiro Assembly Constituency Unit at TT Stadium in Futsiro, he asserted that his confidence on NDPP forming the next government. Meanwhile, he also urged people to not get swayed by manifestos of other parties. In addition, during the event, he also claimed that he had been working towards bringing an all-round development to Futsiro constituency in particular and Pek district in general. Furthermore, while talking about Naga political issue, he said that the present government has been taking the matter seriously and has urged Naga negotiators to bring early solution to the issues. A Thanksgiving service of the Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party was held at the conference hall of the NTPP headquarters in Kohima on Friday. The service, which commenced from 11 a.m., was being chaired by the working president Alamtumshi Chamir. Based on the life story of Chief Minister Nipurio, General Secretary Abu Mehta gave a PowerPoint presentation. Rio, in his Thanksgiving speech, gave credit to all his colleagues and party members for being with him and achieving the milestone. Rio encouraged everyone present at the program to evoke unity and work together at all possible ways. He said that though they were in different parties, but yet one or the other time they are together. Rio also noted that they did nothing differently, nor he has special wisdom. However, it was God's wisdom and support to have achieved this destiny.
My colleagues, my party men and women, and though many of you said that we won only 18, only 26, and so on and so forth, we were in different parties, but yet one or the other time we were together. And that made me the continuity of being the Chief Minister of the state. What a privilege. I don't deserve, I know myself, but God is kind to me and to our party. With the support of the party and the colleagues, we could achieve this milestone. So I give credit to all of you who had been with me in the past, who had been with me at present. I did nothing differently, nor I have no special wisdom to achieve this destiny. But it is God and His wisdom, it is your support. I only fear God Almighty, and I believe in Him, and I know that He is a true and living God who is faithful to His believers and who works with principles, with integrity, with God.
Although viewers, Dimapur is known as the commercial hub of Nagaland, mainly for business establishment and considered as the fastest growing city in the state, the reality behind all this progress comes at a cost. Today, Nltv bring to you all once again about Dimapur and its impact as the commercial hub. As Nltv visited certain places in and around Dimapur, what actually caught our attention was open dumping of garbages. The visuals caught on camera raised some serious questions. How clean is Dimapur? Who should be held responsible for all these litters? During our visit, Nltv witnessed areas filled with garbage dumped openly nearby national highways and public places. There was a huge stack of garbage that was dumped near the wall of the airplane runway of Dimapur Airport, adjoining National Highway 3rd Mile by the locals. Often at times, we have held administration responsible for deliberately showing apathy towards this type of practices. But clearly, the picture tells another story that the certain people of Dimapur have also not taken cleanliness seriously. Perhaps it's time to understand the being a responsible citizen of the city, as it is our duty to keep our city clean and garbage free for keeping the environment pollution free and healthy.
Pathar laga samne edo Maruti Suzuki arena la showroom aro Indian petrol pump laga oil petrol pump laga samne de mohane da ina si aro mohal moi laga left side de airport laga land ta laga landing area la samne edu wall thaga la rasta laga main road highway laga edu la samne de mohan aina sogine mohan jana ase aro apni khan camera de edu video sai thaga nisna de apni khan ke dekha ase mohan jabra la opor de edu jabra do kinka phega ina ase aro edu kinka kun phega ase aro edu to mohan directly aji apni khan ke kobole mon thaka do hoile mohan every time administration khan ke blame kuri thake ki jabra khan kile properly maintain na kore kile phela ase aro enka jaga jaga de kile dumping yard to banai na rakhina ase holbi mohan ete apni khan ke kobole aro kotha korule mon thaka do hoile idu dabra to ami khan laga ghor la bhitor pra hi aya ase ami khan hi jama kurine ami khan idu iman garbage khan mohan la ghor de jama kurine ani gine phegai diala directly ete ani gine phegai diala opor de idu hi ase ar idu jabra to DMC kan bi phega no hoy ala khun ba phega no hoy itu ami khan nijor laga ghor laga jabra ami khan phega la ase mohan ete public khan ki itu jana bole mon ase ami khan public khan ki ku ete ala ki ba hurts feeling nai holi bi ami khan ete koi dibole mon taga hoile apni khan hi administration khan ge holi bi responsible concern department khan ki apni khan cooperate na gorle to kinga gorina ami khan Dimapur city clean thayo aro sopra bia kotha to ete enka ase gule to itu jabra phega to hoile main highway de ase ar main highway itu bi kuntu ami khan la Dimapur airport phale aro khunba bahar pa tourist khan bi ai gine visit korine Dimapur main city jabo gole bi rasta laga main samne de enka jabra phelai gine thaka do takan saile mohan laga Nagaland aro Dimapur laga impact to kinka takhala mindset de kinka girubo itu bi ekta question olai jay aro the other hand apni khan kibi mohan eta request kurubo enka to na phelabi jabra to apni khan maintain kuri gine apni khan jama koribi if apni khan phelabole problem ho ase then apni khan department khan ke kobo pare apni khan DMC ki khan kibi kobo pare kun itu jabra khan kale kurubo tahan ki kobo pare ki mai khan jabra gode na phekai gine mohan जनता और सब करने भाभी गिने एनवायरनमेंट करने भाभी गिने ami kan jabra khan इनका धुरी गिने ना फेगाई ने रास्ता दे इनका लिटरली माने रिट्रेट करी गिने इनका ना फेला तो होले अपनी खान भी साइड भी अपनी खान ही एक्टिव करी गिने काम करे कुरी भी गुले उतु टाइम ते आमी खान क्वेश्चन करबो पारे होले भी आमी खान डायरेक्टली इनका ओलाई गिने फेलाई दिया तो राती दे लुगाई गिने आइगिने इनका फेलाई गिने जबरा खान जमा करी दिया तो होले तो बेसी बिया आसे गुनी मोहने तो जना आसे और आमी खान भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन खान भी आला खान की भी क्वेश्चन करबो ना पारे.
The Unity College in Dimapur has celebrated its 16th Freshers' Come Annual Day on Friday. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Paton attended the event as the guest of honor who unveiled the plaque. Minister of Geology and Mining and Soil and Water Conservation V. Kashiho Sangtam and the advisor of Department of Power H. Tovihoto Ayemi also attended the program. The newly built library, which consists of 8,700 books, was inaugurated by V. Kashiho Sangtam. On the other hand, the Computer Resource Center, which consists of 100 computers, was inaugurated by H. Tovihoto Ayemi. At the program, Paton felicitated the toppers and presented rupees 10,000 each, while an amount of rupees 4 lakh was also presented to the college. A free medical camp at New Lungshai village in Chen area of Mon district was conducted by Twensang Battalion Assam Rifles on Friday. Notably, the Twensang Battalion Assam Rifles, under the aegis of Headquarters 7th Sector Assam Rifles, Headquarters Inspector General Assam Rifles North, conducted the camp. It is to be mentioned that the medical situation in New Lungshai village was reported to be grim. Hence, a well-needed medical camp was organized by the medical staff of Twensang Battalion. Reportedly, a total of 36 male, 54 female and 56 children were treated and given free medicines by the team. The team also donated essential commodities to the church. The villagers appreciated the gesture of Assam Rifles and conveyed heartfelt gratitude for the noble act. The Twensang District Task Force on Friday held a meeting on COVID-19 at DC's Conference Hall, Twensang. The meeting was chaired by Chairman, DTF and Deputy Commissioner, Twensang, Kumar Ramanikant. During the meeting, members discussed the current COVID scenario in the state and also discussed on how to tackle the challenge just faced in the district. The members also agreed to intensify awareness campaigns and continue focusing on the vaccination drives and further advise employees to go for precautionary doses. The House furthermore discussed on collecting the data on vaccination amongst the security personnel and advising vaccination to those yet to take. The forum discussed collecting the data from the vaccination portal and to text and call the beneficiaries who are due to get their second and precautionary dose. DTF also agreed to employ youth for that matter. Chumukirima Town Angami Mechu Kroto reaffirms its stand of the resolution undertaken at weekly market Chumukirima Town on February 14, 2017 for one government, one tax by Angami Public Organization resolution and Chumukirima Public. A meeting held on July 9, attended by the apex body of all civil society organizations, states CTAMK, unanimously resolved that no taxation will be paid to any entity unless all Naga political groups comes together to work collectively for one cause. The meeting also resolved to urge the business community to contact anti-extortion helpline at 8787893133 for any assistance. Further, the House warned on the consequences of any business person if be found complying with the demands of illegal taxation through expulsion and ban from conducting any business activity in future. Chumukirima Town Women Organization and Youth Organization are entrusted to keep check on any illegal activities within Chumukirima territory. Deputy Commissioner's Office parent staff along with various departments attached to DC office complex on Friday conducted social work. Apart from cleaning up the command toilets inside the office building, the participants were also involved in cleaning weeds and drainages at the office premises. The drive was held under the supervision of the district administration led by STOC Kemi Siriele. In a brief program held at the Chief Minister's residential complex office in Kohima, Chief Minister Nirf on Thursday gave away column speakers to the representatives of the impaneled districts of Task Force for Music and Fine Arts. Speaking at the program, Rio said that the youth coming together and trying to do good things will make a positive impact and motivate others. He also expressed by saying that was delighted to meet the youth, musicians, event managements through the initiative of TAFMA and to distribute music equipments. Rio also expressed that there is a huge potential for progress. He added by saying that the Chief Minister Corpus Fund have been helping musicians to pursue their profession proficiently. At the program, Rio announced to give 15 kilovolt ampere generator each to all the districts through TAFMA to be used during music and other events. Advisor of TAFMA, Teja Miru, also stated that the distribution of column speakers to TAFMA district partners was an initiative aimed at empowering TAFMA district partners to help talents at the grassroots in all districts. In a bid to resolve the 7-decade-old interstate border issue, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh on Friday signed the Namsai Declaration. The declaration was signed after the chief ministers of both the states conducted a crucial meeting along with cabinet ministers from both sides. Speaking over the matter, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma asserted that an effort is being made by both sides to resolve the issue. Sarma stated that there is no dispute between the two states over the 123 villages along the border area. 28 villages are already within Arunachal's boundary. The dispute between the two has been reduced or restricted now to only 86 villages. Sarma informed that both the states have agreed to form 12 regional committees to resolve the border issues along with the interstate border, which will visit the disputed sites. And thereafter, these committees will submit their report on 15th September. Based on the outcomes of each committee's report, the talk shall move further. Reportedly, the Namsai Declaration would be sent to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his approval. Notably, the two chief ministers met for the first time on boundary disputes on April 2022 in Guwahati for reaching the consensus of an out-of-the-court settlement of the boundary disputes. It is worth mentioning that Assam shares an 804.10 kilometer boundary with Arunachal Pradesh.
हमने यह निर्णय किया कि लोकल कमीशन को बेसिस बनाते हुए हम लोग दोनों प्रदेश का डिस्प्यूट रिजॉल्व करूंगा और डिस्प्यूट विल बी कन्फाइंड टू 123 विलेजेस। फिर अप्रैल में हम लोग ने दोबारा गुवाहाटी में हम लोग बैठा और 20 अप्रैल को बैठने का समय यह निर्णय हुआ कि दोनों प्रदेश रीजनल कमिटी नोटिफाई करेगा और ये रीजनल कमिटी 9 पॉइंट ऑफ रेफरेंस, जहां में एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कन्वीनियंस होगा, हिस्ट्री होगा, पीपल्स विल होगा, ये 9 टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंस का दायरा में फील्ड में जाएगा, लोगों से बातचीत करेगा, सिविल सोसाइटी से बातचीत करेगा और एक भाईचारा का माहौल में दोनों रीजनल कमिटी हर गांव में जाके ये डिस्प्यूट को रिजॉल्व करने का प्रयास करेगा। कमिटी का बेसिस क्या है? 12 जिला ऑफ अरुणाचल। असम का तरफ इतना जिला नहीं है, लेकिन अरुणाचल का तरफ 12 जिला है। तो अरुणाचल का एक जिला को एक यूनिट मानते हुए हमने रीजनल कमिटी को नोटिफाई किया। तो असम का ओर से भी 12 कमिटी बन गया, अरुणाचल प्रदेश का ओर से भी 12 कमिटी बना। तो आज 12 कमिटी का चेयरमैन लोग नामसाई में आए और 12 कमिटी का जो मेंबर्स है वो मेंबर्स लोग अपना अपना डिस्ट्रिक्ट से वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस से हमारा साथ जोड़ा और ये निर्णय हुआ कि 22 सितंबर 15 हम लोग का एक बार हर गांव में दौरा हो जाएगा। दोनों कमेटी एक बार दो बार 15 सितंबर का पहले एक राउंड तोड़ करेगा, जरूरत होने से 2 राउंड तोड़ करेगा। लोकल लोग समझने का समझने का कोशिश करेगा और जहां जहां एग्रीमेंट हो जाएगा ये एक ड्राफ्ट एमओयू का रूप से लेके आएगा। तो हमने ये
Yes, viewers, we have a breaking news coming in, and that is, for the first time in the history of India, a law to regulate the registration of digital media is expected to be passed. If passed, digital media in India will be regulated and violators will be punished under an amended law that the government plans to bring in the parliament session starting next week. Furthermore, digital news publishers will have to apply for registration and will be required to do so within 90 days of the law coming into effect. Notably, the first administrative ministry, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, has stated that the process to amend the registration of press and periodicals Bill 2019 to include news on digital media through any electronic devices as well. So viewers, to get to know more about this law, we will now talk with our senior content producer Dipendu Chakraborty. Yes, Dipendu, if you can hear me, we would like to know more about this law from you.
Yes, Asen, as you have just mentioned, that ahead of this Parliament's monsoon session that is scheduled to start coming week from the next Monday, that is to be 25th of July, the monsoon session of Parliament is going to start. And ahead of that, we have got this information that the central government is preparing a bill for a new registration regime for newspapers also, and that includes, mind the words, that includes the digital news media industry as well. This is for the first time in India that any law that has been will regulate the digital news section as well, because till date there was no such framework for controlling the digital news media. So now the government is now planning to bring this bill, this amendment of the existing law that created controversy in 2019. To be precise, the bill was supposed to tabled in the Parliament was named as the Registration of Press and Periodicals Bill 2019, but due to some obstacles and protests, the bill was not tabled in the Parliament. However, this time with some major amendments that will include the new digital news media also. The government is going to propose this bill. It will propose the bill first to the cabinet. Once the cabinet gets its nod, it will be tabled in Parliament. And after that, if the bill is passed, then the digital news websites also that are operating in India will also come on par with newspapers, and they will have to register themselves with the Press Registrar General, that is equivalent to Registrar of Newspapers in India. And the digital news platforms currently do not have any registration as such, and that's why as the bill is passed, they will be regulated. They will be under the ambit of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. They have to follow the rules and regulations that will be controlling the digital media as well. So this is the report story that has emerged now. And already, once the bill was proposed in 2019, although it stirred controversy, as many argued that it was the centre's attempt to control digital news media, the central government at that time had not moved further with a draft bill. But now it is expected that from the next Parliament session, the monsoon session, the government is planning to table the bill. Meanwhile, they have started the process of tabling the bill. So once the Union Cabinet gives the approval, it will be presented in the Parliament, and that will somehow, the move can be seen. It's an act or it's a move to control the digital media in the nation. As you already know, the digital media now holds a very crucial significance. It's a very important tool of communication nowadays. With the emergence of digital media, the journalism has gone to a new level of heights. Unprecedented growth has been seen in the field of digital media as well. So with this rule, with this regulation now, the planning is that somehow to control, somehow, as we often there has been some accusations that somehow some new through digital media or through web portals, some news are fabricated, some news are manipulated, false representation has also been witnessed. So in an attempt to curb down those things, the government is planning to bring this bill which will regulate digital news media. Asan.
Okay, Dibyendu, I would also like to know the very much difference between this new law that will be regulated soon and also the registration of press and periodicals bill 2019.
As the earlier, in India, the new law, the amendment law, which if it becomes a law or act after the parliament passes it, it will replace the existing the law that was there, that is the Press Registration of Books Act. But it's a very old colonial era act. Way back in 1867 it was passed, and that currently regulates newspaper and printing press industry in India. However, once this new bill or rule passed, there will be some certain kind of rules and regulation. First of all, is that the digital news publishers have to first of all apply for registration, and will be required to do so within 90 days of the law coming into effect. So they will get a 3 months period, 90 days period to first of all register themselves. And as I say, the administrative ministry will be the information and broadcasting ministry, and they have already in fact started the process of making certain amendments, because as I said, it was earlier the government attempted to table it in 2019, but due to some controversy, due to some stir, the government backed out from that move. But however, now the digital news publishers who are currently operating in India, they will have to apply for registration, and they'll be given a 90 days period to register with the day the law comes into effect, and they need to register with the Press Registrar General, who will have the powers to act against various publications for violations, and who can suspend or cancel registration or even impose penalties. If somebody or the digital news publishers violate the norms and regulations under the Act. And so this is the you can say this is the way to regulate the digital media under the new information technology rules, that already sparked in controversy in 2019. But however, this once again with some amendments, with the new amendments, it will be interesting to see how the new law comes and it tries to regulate the digital media. And as I already said, the amendments will bring digital news media under the control of Information and Broadcasting Ministry. So now this is the latest development that will definitely make an impact as far as the digital media industry is concerned. So we'll keep an eye. I'm sure when the monsoon session starts, we'll have a close look. What are the terms and conditions comes out in that amendment, and we'll be able to give more insights on the new amended press and periodical bill that is going to be tabled in the monsoon session of the Parliament. Assam.
Okay, thank you, Dibyendu. I very much agree with you, since this will be the first move in India and also the first time in the history of India that a law will be regulated, and also the registration of digital medias will be passed. So viewers, as you have already known by now, that if this law is passed, digital media in India will be regulated and violators will be punished under an amended law that the government plans to bring in the Parliament session. Yes, viewers, moving on to the next news. As we know that the criticizing of the list of unparliamentary words, which was released by the Lok Sabha Secretariat, Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra continued her critique of the list of unparliamentary words on Friday, and she posted on her latest Twitter series of replacement for unparliamentary words. So Moitra took a jab at the centre by relating it to the sexual harassment case against former Chief Justice of India, Rajan Gogoi. In another snippy tweet, the leader shared a list of words that can still be said in Parliament, featuring controversial words used by BJP leaders in the past. She tweeted that banned word "I wash" is replaced by Amrit Kal. It is to be mentioned that Moitra is the next opposition leader after senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi to take a swipe at the centre over the list of unparliamentary words. Remarkably, the updated list of words has been drawing massive criticism from the opposition parties who claim the booklet with several commonly used words such as ashamed and corrupt to criticize the government. Alt News co-founder Muhammad Zubair, who was arrested for his controversial remarks on Hindus' god and goddesses, has now been granted bail by the Delhi's Patiala House. Court agreed to grant bail to Zubair after he agreed to pay a personal bail bond of rupees 50,000 and 1 lakh amount surety. While passing its judgment, the court also directed Zubair against leaving the country without the prior permission from the court. After India recorded its first case of monkeypox disease, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has issued guidelines to manage the disease on Friday. On its guidelines, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has advised the general public to avoid contact with sick people. Furthermore, it advised against coming in contact with dead or wild animals such as rodents and monkeys. At the same time, the ministry has also informed the public to visit their nearest hospitals in case they come in contact with those affected by virus. Meanwhile, Indian Council of Media Research has taken to Twitter to inform the public about the presence of 15 virus research and diagnostic laboratories across the country to reassure the people of country's preparedness to tackle the virus. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel has been constantly monitoring the situation of the flood-affected areas of rain-battered state. There has been heavy rains in several areas of Gujarat since the last few days, which brought life to a standstill. While residents of low-lying areas have been shifted to safer places and those stranded at home due to waterlogging have been provided with relief material. Chief Minister visited the State Control Room on Thursday night to take stock of the situation, especially in the Navsari district. He later spoke with the collectors of Navsari and Valsad via video conferencing and sought details of the relief work and rescue operation. He also took detailed information of moving people to safer places, opening up roads and railways, and regarding the work being done by the NDRF. Meanwhile, locals of Golvat and Fadvel village near Kaveri River in Navsari district were trapped due to flash floods on banks of River Kaveri. Gujarat State BJP President C.R. Patil informed that 2 Air Force choppers and NDRF team will start rescue operations from Friday morning in the state part. In a series of tweets, he said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah are constantly monitoring the condition in Gujarat. Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama arrived in Leh Airport on Friday as part of his 2-day official trip to Ladakh. The trip is the first for the 14th Dalai Lama since the outbreak of COVID pandemic in 2020 to Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. Interacting with media personnel, Lama insisted that Chinese populace has come to a realization that Tibetans do not seek independence from the communist nation but strives for an autonomy and preservation of Buddhist culture. Remarking on India and Chinese enmity over border issues, he was of the opinion that the nations could talk out problems in a peaceful manner over military incorporation. The visit of the Tibetan leader happens 3 days before the 16th round of coup commander-level meetings between India and China, which is speculated to take place on July 17.
집이나네 겸이 폰주체다 사저세네 디 공부카리요네스 갸가 사저세네 디 공부카리요마요.
Basically, India and China, most populated two nations and neighbor. Sooner or later, you have to solve this problem through talk, through peaceful means, or use military force.
Narendra Modi tweeted on Friday about the upcoming episode of Man Ki Baat to be telecasted on 31st July at 11 a.m. Prime Minister Modi has invited people to share ideas and suggestions for the upcoming episode of Man Ki Baat. Notably, the ideas can be shared on MyGov and also Namo app. People can also record their message by dialing the number 1800117800. National Institutional Ranking Framework on Friday released Nirf Ranking 2022 through Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan under Ministry of Education. Parameters on teaching, learning and resources, research and professional practices, graduation outcomes, outreach and inclusivity and perception were measured on 100-mark scale. Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru ranked as top university in India, followed by Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi and Jamia Millia Islamia. 2022 data report has been accompanied by inputs of discipline-specific rank as applicable. In college category, Miranda House, New Delhi ranked 1, Hindu College ranked number 2 and Chennai's Presidency College ranked 3. IIT Madras, IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay ranked 1 to 3 in the engineering category. Among medical institutes, AIIM's secured rank 1, Chandigarh's Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research came second, while National Institute of Medical Health and Neurosciences Bengaluru ranked third. Among the Northeast region, Guwahati University secured rank of 36, while Tezpur University secured rank 59, Northeast Hill University on rank 66 and Mizoram University on rank 78. Nagaland University is far from any rank, though it finds a mention in the band of 200. A man in Madhya Pradesh's Shihori was threatened for allegedly supporting Nupur Sharma, who kicked off a controversy after her remarks against Prophet Muhammad. Meanwhile, the police have booked 5 people after receiving the complaint in the matter. Home Minister Narottam Mishra said that the accused persons have been arrested and directed the police to step up security around the area. Mishra also said that nobody will be allowed to disrupt peace in the state. He had directed the SP to take cognizance of the threats being received by a man who shared a post on social media in support of Nupur Sharma in Sehore. The culprit who threatened have been arrested under sections 294, 506 and 34 of the Indian Penal Code. Emergency dial 100 point has been set up near the house of the complainant. The Kaman University Entrance Test 2022 for Slot 1 was conducted on Friday. Notably, this is the first time that Kaman University Entrance Test has been conducted for undergraduate admissions. In addition, the national level exam was conducted in several exam centers across the country. Furthermore, the exam was attended by over 8 lakh students. Supreme Court has agreed to hear a plea concerning the amendment of Constitution of Board of Control for Cricket in India on Friday. Earlier, a plea had been filed by the Supreme Court seeking a direction from the top court for the extension of the tenure of BCCI presidency Saurav Ganguly and Secretary Jay Shah. Meanwhile, the BCCI has sought permission to change the rules relating to cooling off period for the President, Secretary and other office bearers in its amendment. Notably, the current president of BCCI, Sourav Ganguly, is set to complete his 3-year term on September. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has been sworn in as the interim president after Parliament Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena accepted the resignation of Gotabaya Jayapaksa. Wickremesinghe was sworn in as the acting president before Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya after the former president Gotabaya Jayapaksa fled to massive protests demanding his resignation. Abeyewardena informed that the new president will be selected according to the provisions of the Special Provisions Act No. 2 of 1981 and Article 40 of the Constitution. Amid the worsening law and order scenario in Sri Lanka triggered by economic crisis, the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka on Friday issued an interim order preventing the former Prime Minister Mahinda Jayapaksa from leaving the country without court's permission till July 28. The list also included former Minister Basil Jayapaksa. Meanwhile, the former President Gotabaya Jayapaksa had finally resigned from his post on Friday through an email addressed to the Parliamentary Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. In addition, the acting president of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, made a series of announcements on Friday, including the ban of the word His Excellency to introduce the president and abolishment of presidential flag. Thank you for tuning in. We will meet again with more news and updates.
अरे तूने अभी तक कुछ किया ही नहीं।
अरे ये तो लो क्वालिटी टंकी है।
होशियारी मत दिखाओ, दुकानदार ने 5 साल की गारंटी दी है।
अरे 5 साल छोड़िए, इसका पानी पियेंगे ना तो बहुत जल्दी हम लोग पहुंचेंगे। अंदर का सरफेस प्लेन, स्मूथ और प्योर व्हाइट भी नहीं है। आप एक काम क्यों नहीं करते, निप्को ताज का एक टंकी लगा ली।
लेक्चर बंद करो, लगाओ।
मरने दो बुड्ढे को, मेरा क्या जाता है।